Hi, today we are going to be finding missing sides of similar figures. Okay, so what we need to know for this, and what we talked about it last time, is that corresponding sides are proportional. Which means we are just going to set up proportions and find the missing values. So let's just do a little sketch up here. So this is A and B, and this is C and D. A and C are corresponding sides, so A divided by C equals the other corresponding sides, which are B and D. So B divided by D. If A divided by C equals B over D, then we know that the corresponding sides are proportional, which means they are similar. And so we can use this to solve for missing sides. Okay, so we're going to have two figures and we're going to find the missing sides. So let's say we have this rectangle, this side is 3, this side is x, so we don't know that side. And then we have our other rectangle. And this side is 6, and this side is 12. So the first thing you're going to want to do is mark corresponding sides. So it helps to use different colors if you have different colors. So our width is 3, and that corresponds to the width on the other triangle, which is 6. And then the length is x, and that corresponds to the length of our larger rectangle, which is 12. Step 2 is we're going to write the proportion. So just make sure you're consistent. I always like to do the small one on top. That's just easy for me to remember. So 3 over 6 equals the small length, which is x, over the large length, which is 12. Then you're going to cross multiply. And solve for x. So we have 6 times x, which we're going to multiply, and that gives us 6x. And then 3 times 12, which is 36. So 6x equals 36. We divide both sides by 6, and x equals 6. So we now know that this side is 6. Okay, let's do another example. Let's do a triangle. Okay, so first we want to mark our corresponding sides. So we know that this side corresponds to this side, and this side corresponds to this side. Then we can write our proportion. So 5 divided by 10 equals 9 over x. Then we just cross multiply and solve for x. So 5 times x is 5x. 10 times 9 is 90. So 5x equals 90. Divide both sides by 5. And x equals 18. Okay, let's look at your assignment. So finding missing sides of similar figures. We're going to follow those steps we just went over in our notes. So first, we are going to mark corresponding sides. So we have our width and our width, and our length and our length. So those are our corresponding sides. Then we're going to write our proportions. So 3 over 6 equals our unknown, which we'll use x, over 14. So we're going to multiply 6 times x, which is 6x, and 14 times 3, 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1, so 42. Divide both sides by 6, and x equals 7. So we know that this side is 7. Okay, let's do number 2. So we'll first mark corresponding sides. So we're trying to find this side. So those correspond. And we'll do the tops because that's easier. Then we don't have to worry about this decimal. So we already know that these are similar figures. So we only need to do 2 of the sides to find the missing side. So then we can set up our proportion. So I always do the smaller one. We'll continue with that. So 12 over 15 equals 24 over x. So we'll multiply 12 times x, cross multiply, which is 12x, equals 15 times 24. I'm going to get my calculator. 15 times 24, which is 360. We divide both sides by 12, and x equals 30. Okay, so go ahead and set up proportions for all of these problems and solve for the missing side.